Guys, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I will be talking about my first day of school in the UK. Okay, so for those of you who are new to my channel, what I'll be doing is I'll be running a series where I talk about specific topics in specific videos about living in the UK as a teen. So if that is something that you're interested in, then you might want to subscribe and then hit the notification button so that you know the next time I drop a video. I'd also like to take this moment to thank everybody who has been supporting. Thank you guys so much for liking, for commenting, for sharing. And to all of my subscribers, this YouTube channel literally only exists because of you guys, and it's only going to exist and to succeed in the future because of your support. So thank you so much. Love you guys. Mwah. Okay, so my first day of school in the UK started with excitement. I was literally so excited to go to school because I had been sitting at home for I think it was about a month, and I was just so tired of sitting at home and I just wanted to go to school and just learn. This was because I had to wait a month before I could get into any school because the council had to basically allocate a school for me which had space for a new student. So I was then allocated to a public school which they call a state school here. So I was attending school for free, and they also provide free school meals to people who qualify. So if you qualify for free school meals, what you'll do is you'll stand in a line by the canteen and you'll get to choose what kind of food that it is that you want, and the school basically pays for everything. But if you do not qualify for free school meals, there are certain breakfast items that you can get for free. At my school we got bagels and cereal for free. We're also given free stationery, we were given textbooks, we were given writing books as well. There was also a little container of biscuits and sweets that each and every class had. And those who needed laptops for studying or for school purposes were also given laptops that were supposed to be given after you're done with your final exam. The council also provided free transport for children who were placed in schools that were very far from home. We were also given extra lessons that are known as interventions this side, and we would just basically attend them either after school or in the morning, and they were free. And interventions weren't just for people who are struggling with specific subjects like in South Africa. Here, if you go for extra lesson, it could be to either get further in the course or to do extra work that couldn't be done in class. And got to the school that I was going to be going to, and the lady in the office who had helped me with choosing my subjects and introducing me to the principal, which they call head teacher this side. Yeah, so then she then took me to my classroom, she gave me my timetable, and then she gave me a buddy, which is basically someone who was supposed to show me around the school and help me find all of my classes. Then we walked up to my class, which this side they call a form, it's called a form room. So then I met my buddy, and I feel it was at this moment that things started to sink in. I then came to the realization that literally everything and everyone is just so Western. Because if it was my first day in a South African school, I would get into the classroom, people would be speaking, Zulu, Tswana, Pedi, maybe a little bit of Venda, but now here everyone was speaking English and English only. One thing I also noticed was that there were a lot of people from different European countries like Ukraine, Albania, Greece, whereas in South Africa there's mostly people that are either from Nigeria or maybe Ethiopia. They are Zulus, there's Pedis, there's Tswanas, and now it was just a completely different vibe altogether. And all of this was literally just so much for me to take in. It was just a lot. I was in a completely different environment. I had not imagined my first day of school in the UK being like this. I had not imagined that the UK was a melting pot of cultures. But it was also a learning curve for me because I got to learn about other people's countries and how they also ended up being in the UK, and I got to meet different people who also were new in the UK and felt exactly the way that I felt. So my buddy then took me to my first lesson, which was English. My buddy then introduced me to my new English teacher, told her that I was a new learner, and then my English teacher introduced herself to me. She then asked me what country I was from, and I told her South Africa. And then she asked me, "Have you done Macbeth?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Have you done Refugee Boy?" I was like, "No." Then she went on to ask me, "Have you read A Christmas Carol?" And I was like, "No." And I was literally so confused and lost at this time because I had never heard any of those titles in my entire life. She then just sighed and she was like, "This is gonna be so difficult for you." And it was in that moment that my excitement literally just went from there to there. Because I was like, now I'm gonna have to work 10 times harder to catch up and to familiarize myself with the curriculum, because I literally know nothing about what it is that they're doing here. And then a girl from my English class then introduced herself to me, and she explained to me a little bit about how the curriculum worked and how I had to basically memorize quotes for English because they wouldn't give you the story in the exam. And I was used to doing comprehensions in South Africa because that's what we did for English. And now here, things were just going to be working differently. They were going to give you questions based on a particular novella, and they're going to expect you to write down quotes that you would have memorized from that book, and they could literally ask you about any part of the book. You're supposed to remember what specific chapter that it is that they are asking about. I then came to the realization that the subject English here in the UK consists of English language and English literature, where in language you're going to be learning about writers like Charles Dickens. And so that was basically the pattern of my entire day and each and every subject that I went to for the first time. It was always filled with so much confusion because I get into the class, the teacher is teaching, and I literally don't even understand what they're saying or what they're talking about because I've never done that topic in my school in South Africa before I came here. It also took the teachers time to eventually get to a point where they understood where it is that I was with my education and like what the next steps were supposed to be for me to catch up. Well, here I was feeling demotivated, feeling homesick, and literally just feeling like, you know, it's actually not too late to go back to South Africa. I can just go home, tell my mom to book a plane ticket, and then I can just go back. Because this was just too much change for me. It was a lot to take in, and I had to take it all in fast. I had to catch up fast. I had to adjust fast, and all of that took a lot of time and effort. I literally had to be mentally and emotionally strong, and at that time I hadn't made any friends because I was still coming to grips with how my life was going to be like from now on. I was also still getting used to the new terminology and the way that people speak here, as well as the setup of schools. I just had so much to get used to because it was also getting used to the grading system, the pass rates, understanding how they mark papers, how exams are done here, the holidays as well, the terms. And I will definitely get into more detail in my upcoming videos, so definitely do stay tuned. After some time, I then got allocated to a different English class. So I was being taught by a different English teacher, and this English teacher was that type of teacher that if you're a new student in her class from a different English class, she will make you guys read the extract before you guys do the activity. So she was constantly telling me to be reading the extract, and every time I would read the extract, there would be certain students in the class that would laugh at me while I was reading. I think it was probably because they thought my accent was odd, because it's like now I was in a school full of people with literally the same accent, and I'm the only one there with the South African accent, so I was lost. And I feel like that's one of the things about the UK is that so many people have the British accent, so the moment they're confronted with a new accent, I guess it just takes them time to adjust. Like, it just sounds odd to them, you know. So now I'll be taking you guys along with me on my summer holiday to the beach.